Once a small port on the edge of a desert, Dubai is now a magnet for Instagram models and social media influencers from around the world. Influencers flying there to look for the best photo posing next to yachts, in five-star hotels next to infinity pools in the sky flaunting expensive jewelry designer clothes. But the facade of opulence and luxury Dubai has become a breeding ground for offers of thousands of dollars in luxury experiences in exchange for sex, exploitation, and so-called porta potty parties. The city's elite, driven by insatiable desires and shielded by immense wealth, engage in epic activities that defy societal norms and moral boundaries. In fact, sex parties of the vilest nature serve as playgrounds for the elite. These gatherings take place in palaces and are often hosted by wealthy sheikhs. They pay models and other influences insane amounts of money. As a result, social media had become a catalog for men to select their next conquest.
They are having unprotected sex. I will also fuck his Egyptian brother, 13 years old. Mr. Ali paid me $50,000.
This was leaked in 2022. It's a woman agreeing on video as a sort of social contract to the terms of an arrangement. The arrangement is not uncommon at all. In fact, this one is tame compared to what you can find online, which includes videos of those encounters. And the Dubai tourism industry is crafted for this. Dubai is one of the leading tourist destinations because the tourism industry is built with the Instagram aesthetic in mind. In fact, everything the eye lands on in Dubai was created for a purpose. Nothing is natural or accidental. From the smooth skyscrapers to the purpose-built islands that function as gated communities, every detail was designed to project luxury, status, and perfection. Unlike most cities, Dubai offers tax-free luxury, year-round sun, private jets parked like taxis, and a cinematic backdrop built for attention. Dubai doesn't just allow fantasy, it builds it, architects it. And somewhere between that fantasy and the reality underneath it, something far more complicated is happening, something the filtered images were never designed to show you. As a result, the city's glamorous image has become deeply connected to offers of thousands of dollars in luxury in exchange for sex, porta potty parties, human trafficking, extravagance, and the materialism that now permeates parts of Dubai's culture. However, to understand these modern issues, we first need to understand the people who built this place, because Dubai's rapid transformation into a global metropolis can largely be attributed to one man who spent millions searching for oil in what was once a relatively small fishing and pearling village. This was Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, who effectively ruled Dubai from 1958 until 1990. After years of searching, he struck oil in 1966, and this would change the city forever. In no time, Dubai turned into one of the richest cities in the world. He is credited as the architect of modern Dubai. Contrary to popular belief, Dubai does not have an oil-based economy. In fact, the modest oil revenues provided Dubai with critical capital for infrastructure, education, and healthcare, therefore laying the foundation for its emergence from a developing country into one of the most luxurious tourist destinations in the world. Unlike more oil-dependent neighbors, Dubai deliberately channeled funds into trade, ports, aviation, and later tourism, because Sheikh Rashid feared the city's oil reserves would eventually run out. Sheikh Rashid once stated, "My grandfather rode a camel, my father rode a camel, I drive a Mercedes, my son drives a Land Rover, his son will drive a Land Rover, but his son will ride a camel." The reason was simple. Dubai actually did not have that much oil. Therefore, Sheikh Rashid recognized the potential for Dubai to evolve into more than just a city dependent on oil revenues. As a result, activities designed to attract foreign investment rapidly increased throughout the 21st century. Several free zones such as Jebel Ali were established, allowing foreign companies to operate from Dubai without needing a local partner. Consequently, these zones became phenomenally successful, with the largest becoming home to more than 6,400 companies, many of which were European or North American. He also upgraded Dubai International Airport and built the Dubai World Trade Center, which was then the tallest building in the Middle East. By the end of the 1970s, Rashid wanted to diversify Dubai's economy away from oil and into industries such as tourism. Therefore, in 1989, the Dubai Commerce and Tourism Promotion Board was established to promote Dubai as a luxury destination for elite tourists and influential business sectors. During the 1990s, the city aggressively positioned itself as a luxury tourist destination, spending significant portions of its GDP on grandiose resorts and attractions. As a result, tourism became one of the city's most significant sources of income. However, behind the facade of opulence and luxury, Dubai also developed a darker reputation online. Offers of thousands of dollars, luxury experiences, and exclusive trips in exchange for sex began circulating through social media and private messages directed at top influencers and models. For most people watching from home, Instagram is simply a place to share moments. However, for a particular segment of the platform, young women with large followings, carefully curated aesthetics, and the kind of beauty rewarded algorithmically, social media became something else entirely. As a result, unlike ordinary people working jobs they most likely hate for wages that barely reflect their value, some influencers could reportedly earn more than an average yearly salary in a single weekend. But what are they doing for that in exchange for their beauty and youthfulness? Receiving the lifestyle many could only dream of attaining. The general consensus is that influencers like these make most of their money from brand deals. However, many were actually using their social media presence as another form of advertising. They were not advertising products, they were the product, and the buyer was often a very wealthy man from the Middle East. This is where the surface begins to crack, because when some influencers travel to Dubai, they are not simply looking for a vacation or a tan. They are looking for a transaction. A luxurious experience, yes, but one funded by highly specific arrangements. Consequently, the line between luxury travel and high-end escorting begins to dissolve completely. And this is precisely where Dubai's hidden nightlife and underground prostitution scene begin revealing themselves. The city's elite, driven by insatiable desires and shielded by immense wealth, engage in epic activities that defy societal norms and moral boundaries. Sex parties of the vilest nature serve as playgrounds for the elite. These gatherings take place in palaces and are often hosted by wealthy sheikhs. They pay model and other influences insane amounts of money just so they can defecate on them more often. Then these influencers aren't even aware of what they're signing up for. They think they just need to please one man, and then they get to experience the lavish lifestyle they've always dreamed of. Instead, their vulnerability becomes a currency they're exploited, and they don't have a way out once they're there. It's forced prostitution that these elite families get away with all the time. Drugs, too, play a prominent role in the debtor of this elite-exclusive site's prostate with the epic exchange of substances. They see this as their way to enjoy life and escape from the reality of who they are. But almost all of this goes undocumented, because in Dubai, couples who publicly kiss are jailed, yet the state turns a blind eye to 30,000 imported prostitutes. Even taking a photo in Dubai could land you with a $136,000 fine or jail. Nightlife may involve revealing outfits or dancing, but capturing or sharing anything sexualized is illegal. While Dubai's hotels, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs offer easy access to alcohol, filming scenes involving drinking or nightlife often requires explicit permission beforehand. As a result, a single photograph taken without thinking can allegedly cost someone more than $100,000. On paper, these laws are framed around privacy, cultural respect, and religious values. However, laws do not only do what they claim to do, they also create consequences. And the consequence of these laws is something much larger than privacy. They sanitize the city's image. They control the narrative. They guarantee that the version of Dubai shown to the outside world is the version Dubai wants people to see. Because all of this comes from the fact that the soul of the city just doesn't really exist. If we look at what makes New York great, it's not just the building. The heartbeat of New York is found in its people. There's a dynamic blend of cultures, backgrounds, and stories the city thrives on its neighborhoods, each with a distinct character and charm. It's a city forged over generations to them. New York has a profound sense of belonging and shared identity, and New Yorkers share a genuine love for their city, and their attachment goes beyond mere economic considerations. And the same is true for places like London, as well as residents actively participate in the city's cultural, social, and civic life that fosters some sense of belonging in community, even if it is rather limited. Look at how perfectly the system fits together. Alcohol flows freely in hotels and bars, yet filming anyone consuming it requires explicit permission. Promoting a venue, tagging a brand, or even posting content that benefits a business now requires an official advertiser permit from the UAE Media Council. Every layer of public expression is regulated, and in that environment, the raw, unfiltered nightlife the rest of the world quietly gossips about cannot exist online, not because it isn't happening, but because showing it is dangerous. In fact, when influencers shoot larger productions in Dubai, police officers may reportedly stand beside camera operators while reviewing memory cards to ensure the footage presents a positive image of the city. So, why you rarely see raw parties, clubs, videos, or pictures online? Despite its illegality, prostitution is widespread, especially in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The authorities generally turn a blind eye provided it is kept out of the public eye. The workers who play a part in the process have NDAs, phones, and cameras taken away from them, and all the payments are made in crypto, but all of this proves they simply have no care for human life, whether it's a model from across the world or if it's one of their own rural women. But even this isn't the deepest layer, because beneath the glamorous tier of sugar trips and luxury arrangements, there's a darker one that almost never reaches the public eye: the whispered stories of so-called porta potty parties and similar degrading events where models are allegedly lured with enormous payments only to find themselves trapped in scenarios involving exploitation, coercion, and abuse. Dubai Porta Potty. It's called portable pay, like a human pay, a human toilet. Essentially, girls were being contacted by wealthy men to be flown out to the Middle East, mostly Dubai in particular, to engage in a ton of different insane and disgusting acts. Now, while I'm usually one to say whatever two consenting adults do behind closed doors is business, obviously when you factor in all the elements I've just outlined in this video, things do need to be talked about, especially when you consider the United Arab Emirates have pretty strict laws when it comes to prostitution, which makes these such arrangements illegal, but considering the wealth and power of those involved, actually incredibly dangerous to engage in on the woman's behalf and not on the man's. These people are above the law essentially, and you're being flown into a country to do illegal things, where if you do something wrong, or you don't provide the services which you've been contracted for, or things get out of hand, you are the one that has no safety.
This young, beautiful woman from Ukraine was found on the side streets of Dubai with broken arms, legs.
Dubai is a hotspot as well. Dubai is the playground of the ultra-wealthy, and what is a good playground without some toys where they are going to find them on Instagram. I'm not just talking about a country that isn't as advanced when it comes to women's rights. They're seen as token opportunities to give their daughters to others for a greater position of power. If not, they're just locked to the side and are expected to stay silent. They don't even have the opportunity to speak out if they have frustrations, which is why it's no surprise domestic abuse, or while the UAE claims to be a regional leader in women's rights, the country's legal system still allows husbands to physically discipline their wives, something that was confirmed by the UAE Federal Supreme Court in 2010. But he was more than just somebody investing millions of his own money to create the city in the desert, because when you own half the city, quite literally, you have more influence than the government. And so, becoming a leader of the UAE for Rashid was fairly easy. He even played a major role in the formation of the United Arab Emirates. Dubai built a city for images. It perfected the art of giving the camera exactly what the camera wants. And in doing so, it created one of the most effective systems of selective visibility in the modern world. You see what it wants you to see. Glittering, golden, aspirational, perfect. And just behind that light, just outside the frame, the rest of the story continues. Quietly, discreetly, as designed.